I feel like I've traveled all around the world, sort of searching for meaning through experience, through meeting people, through exploring different spiritual ideas, and uh, falling in love. I feel like my whole life has been like a search for purpose, has been a search for meaning. I guess probably all of us probably feel like that a little bit. And I feel like there is no, life is meaningless. I feel like there is no purpose to life. And, when I was younger, I used to think about this, and it would be I had a friend that died. He killed himself. And it wasn't even like someone I was super close with, but it threw me into this just sort of depression of like nothing matters. Everything that we do in life is going to be ultimately useless because we die. Everything turns to dust. Everything turns to ash, no matter what it is. Every tree that lives for 1,000 years is going to be forgotten after it burns. Same with my accomplishments, and same with everything that I do here in this life. And I used to think about this a lot, and it would be my main sort of attitude that carried me through my day-to-day interactions with life. And I was super depressed, super just like there's zero point to anything. And one day it just switched. I was able to see that even though there is 0 point to anything, it's like having a blank canvas to paint on. You create your own art, you create your own world, you create your own meaning and realm of purpose, and of things that are, because ultimately life is a spiritual experience between you and whatever you consider God. And I don't mean God in sort of like a Christian way of like some judge, father figure sitting in a throne in the clouds that's looking at you shaking his head. But I mean God in the sort of way of the mystery and of like the strangeness of existence and existence itself, whatever this is. I feel like that to me is what I call God. So I feel like life, this personal experience of being an individual in this strange mystery, is a personal relationship with you and God. There seems to be some kind of truth that we all share, in the sense that we're all here in these temporary bodies, and we're all sort of just shuffling through life trying to do what we can. But there's such a profound individual aspect about this experience that we can't ignore. We all live in our own sort of worlds. What is the baseline of reality? What is the baseline of the human experience? We all are going to sort of come up with our own conclusions, and some of them might be similar, some of them might be completely different. And that might be due to things like cultural upbringing, sort of the subcultural upbringings of like, did you grow up in the suburb or inner city, or were your parents religious, not religious, or there's so many factors that come into the way that we experience the world, that we apply meaning through these lenses, and we need to. It's sort of almost like a biological mechanism built into the human to apply meaning to things as a way for us to sort of make sense of ourselves here in this universe. I mean, could you imagine, like, if everyone was like me, how I was when I was growing up, what would get done? The species would probably die, from lack of motivation and lack of appetite. So I think that the purpose of the universe is not any of the natural sort of conclusions that we would come to naturally, like family, love, the sort of things we feel within ourselves is our purpose. Being with people we care about, the earth. But these things are temporary. So I think if we want to try to determine what purpose is or what meaning is, we need to find something that that permeates beyond the human stuff, that is transcending past the human mind, the ego. Basically, we want to understand beyond what is meaning beyond the ego, because the ego is not a good reference point to judge what is meaningful and what is not meaningful, because it's a selfish mechanism. Like I said, it's this biological product that we use to interpret and navigate our way through this planet. That doesn't mean it's true. It means it's a selfish perspective, and it has to be. So the idea of spiritual practice or philosophy is to try to bend or get outside the bounds of the mind, of the human mind, of the natural processing we use to interpret. This is the nature of philosophy, is to get past that. So I think meaning is hard to find when you start philosophizing past the human stuff, because does nature care about anything we care about? About holding our loved ones and all this stuff. Nature is ultimately going to send a comet here and kill all of us, or the planet's going to heat up, or whatever it is. I feel like if nature is ultimately indifferent and human meaning and purpose is on such a wide contradictory spectrum, it's better for us to judge the nature of meaning based on the unchanging quality that nature is mostly indifferent. So this is contradictory in a way, because there being no meaning gives us the space to create meaning, which sort of implies that there is meaning. But what I'm trying to elaborate on is that meaning is a personal thing. There's no objective meaning in the universe. The human morality is not the same as the sixth-dimensional reptilian morality, or of the morality of a alligator. So purpose, is there also a difference between meaning and purpose? We apply meaning to things because we have to, because that's the way our brain works. Our brain is constantly seeking patterns out in nature. Purpose I would say life is meaningless because it's void of there being a specific meaning for existence, but I think that there is purpose in the sense that existence itself is just made to happen, and it's meant to happen in the way that it's happening, and that sort of is the purpose. The purpose of life is that it's just is what it is, and whatever is happening is what's meant to happen because it's happening. And that's sort of the purpose of things, is that it's just this sort of creative explosion out into the infinite echo that we call the universe. And ultimately, I guess, it's all sound. Reality is made of sound. It's all sort of music, and music is meaningless. It's not like music has some ultimate goal or meaning. It's just the purpose is within itself. It's within the tune itself is the purpose. It's not like that a tune has meaning. People don't come together with some goal when they play music. It's just about doing what the universe is doing and getting into that flow space. And I guess that's the difference between meaning and purpose. So life is meaningless outside of the fact that we are here to apply our own meaning to it. It's a personal relationship. There's no objective meaning. So in that sense, life is meaningless, but it's filled with purpose in the sense that each and every single moment that we exist is implied. It was implied the second that the mystery of the universe started, when it created. Because, we can observe that the universe is doing something in patterns, This is sort of the study of astrology. This is the study of physics, is that the universe is doing something. It's repeating itself. And that repetition and that morphing led to this. The Big Bang. In the beginning was the Word. It blew itself into existence, and the intensity of the vibrations, just like the way a fan moves, when a fan is moving so fast it appears solid, that's what we are. We are sound. We are music, and music is, the only purpose of music is for it to exist and for it to play out and be beautiful. It's just jazz. It's total just the flow of what the universe is doing. The universe is doing this creation. It's testing the infinite capacities of its own creative abilities. And that's what humans do when we are in the flow of art. Art, I think, is the natural resting place of the human spirit. Shamanism, all these things are expressions of the artist, the musician, the painter, the poet. These all are springing out of the same place. So, yeah, I'm here to tell you that your life is meaningless. And, yeah, that's basically it. So, my name's Dakota. Go ahead and click subscribe on my YouTube channel. And, yeah, don't worry too much. Be happy. Peace and love. Dakota Wint on Instagram and other places. A Place for Humans podcast. Om Shanti.